Enter a knight in fiberglass armor. Russian-born engineer Zora Arkus-Duntov. He would later be called the father of the Corvette. Duntov, a car enthusiast, was involved in motor racing in Europe and in the United States. He qualified twice for the Indy 500 and won honors at Le Mans. He saw the Corvette at the Motorama and called it the prettiest sports car he'd ever seen. But he was puzzled by the six-cylinder engine and power glide transmission.
The fundamentally trouble with this car was it was styling car.
Power and performance were Duntov's life.
He already had a very fine reputation in automotive performance. He'd driven racing cars in Europe. He had created an overhead valve cylinder head for the Ford flathead V8 called the R-Dun, which was a very successful conversion that turned the old flathead Ford into a much more powerful, much more efficient engine. So Zora had very good credentials when he came in, and besides that, he was a very exotic bird.
After considering the Corvette's performance problems, he sent Chevrolet general manager Ed Cole a letter. Cole was impressed and hired Duntov. Duntov soon convinced Cole to offer Chevrolet's new V8 engine as an interim Corvette fix. The engine was lighter than the 6 and cranked out much more horsepower. While Ford executives celebrated the Thunderbird, Chevrolet was planning to rescue the Corvette. For 1956, Chevrolet first called on Harley Earl to redesign the body. The public began to respond. While Earl performed his magic on the body, Duntov cast his spell on the engineering. Next, Duntov took a crack at establishing a new speed record at Daytona Beach, Florida. He knew the Corvette must race on Sunday to sell on Monday. Duntov's Corvette became the first American car to top 150 miles an hour at Daytona Beach. Chevy's stodgy image was finally being left in the dust. There was no need to change Corvette's looks for 1957, but new performance options like a 4-speed manual gearbox and fuel injection helped nearly double sales. Fueled by his success, Duntov now wanted to develop a Corvette race car that could compete at Sebring and even Le Mans. In 1957, Duntov's request for a factory racing program was approved. Work began on the Corvette Supersport, or SS, race car. Duntov and his team would finally have the opportunity to race the Corvette against the best from Mercedes, Porsche, Ferrari, and Maserati. But the Sebring race was only 6 months away. The pressure was enormous. It was rumored that to speed up the process, he copied a Mercedes 300 SLR frame. Duntov was striving for lightweight and strength. As their work continued, the car began to take shape. In order to test components, Duntov prepared a similar car he called the SS Mule. The test results were exciting, and Duntov was sure that the Supersport could be a winner. It wouldn't be until much later that the true value of the Mule was realized. After months of hard work, the Corvette SS was completed. The now finished racer was hurriedly shipped to Sebring to join the rest of the Corvette team. When the Super Sport joined the Corvette team at Sebring, the competition noticed.
Fangio drove it in practice a few laps, and he liked it and was quite impressed with it. Everybody paid attention to that car.
But there just wasn't enough time for proper testing. On race day, driver John Fitch was still trying to find out why the brakes were locking up. Despite this problem, the SS Corvette got off to a good start as the race began. But the brake problem grew worse. By the end of the third lap, Fitch couldn't control the front end of the SS. After a quick tire change, he returned to the race and began to challenge the leaders. The rest of the Corvette team held its own and hoped the SS would pull through. But the SS withdrew from the race. It just wasn't meant to be.